Oh, hello! Welcome back. I see you're here for my video too. Today we're going to be going over a couple of things about how exactly we're going to be doing our experiments. Our research will be comprised of two parts. The first part will be testing the strength of our cordage. We'll be testing this by having an experiment that I've set up in my garage, and I'll be going over the setup, how I set things up, and what the test will show us, and how exactly I will be observing these results over time. And hopefully we'll have a better understanding after this is all done about the strengths of each of these cordages. Secondly, we're going to be doing the part of our research that is concerned with the decomposition rates of some of these cordages. We're going to be going out into the field and trying to find ourselves two areas, one with a flow of fast-moving water and one with a stagnant area of water, to test how each of these cordages stack up in their decomposition rates over a period of time. We're going to be camping out and checking out just how they go, but later on in the video I'll go more into depth about the areas and how we're going to be doing that exactly. As I've done the research for these particular parts of our test, I have a few hypotheses about these cordages. I'm going to share them with you now. I expect the basswood to be the one that is the strongest of all the fibers. Throughout me making all of these cordages, it definitely seems to have the most strength involved. I expect the yucca leaf to be the one that breaks the most, as I have seen it start to crust and powder up as time has gone on. But as far as the decomposition rates go, I have a good feeling about some of the yucca leaves and the milkweed. The milkweed seems to have a bit of that strength as well as that buoyancy that might allow it to last a little bit longer in the decompositional environments. I have a feeling that the basswood will prove to be a little bit more worse for wear after the time we're looking at it. But after we've set up these experiments, I'll ask you guys what you might think and what you might expect to see from some of these things. Whew! Well, now that our setup's complete, let me talk to you about one of the first aspects of our test. The first aspect of our test is going to be testing the strength of these cords, right? We're going to be making a makeshift lake and fishing line right here. As you can see, I have tied this balancing stick here, tried to make it perfectly balanced, as you can see right here in the middle. I've tied it here. We're going to be attaching the cords to each of these areas. So how are we going to be simulating our fish? Well, it's quite simple. We're going to use something that's fun and great for the whole family, and that would be these here party balloons. That looks like a fish, doesn't it? Essentially, we're going to be filling them with sand, weighing them approximately to the weights of each of the fish that we're going to be testing, tying them off to our cords and seeing how long they last. Now, as I've said before, we're going to be using different cords for this. They're all going to be the same length. They're all going to be the same width. I've already worked on some of them. As you can see, I have a yucca leaf here that's doing pretty good. And we have a basswood that I'm working on, and it's doing pretty well. We're gonna go out and get the milkweed tomorrow, as it is ripe for the picking this time of the season. And we're gonna start making those cords and hopefully have those all done by the time we do our experiments. But this will be where the fish fall back in, if you will. So yeah, this will be our first experiment. It'll last a while. As I said before, we're gonna do it over a period of about 12 to 24 hours, which is a long time. Coming back in here every 20 minutes to a half an hour or so, checking on our progress for all three of these weight tests. Later we're going to be going out and searching for some areas to conduct our second test, which is the decomposition rate test. Once I get a hold of my vehicle here and get on my trusty exploring gear, we're going to go back out into the brush and find ourselves some places to conduct our decomposition research.
Holy moly! Oh, I just got to take a video of that. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Looks like somebody already had the right idea here. So how are we going to be testing this, you ask me, James? Well, it's quite simple. For the deterioration, I want to try to see how these things last in different environments. So for the methodology for this particular exercise, we're going to go to the parts of the water in this particular area, our first starting area, where there might be a little bit more stuff that's kind of built up over time, right? It's going to be different wear and tear on each of these cords depending on what part of the water you put them in. Say it's in a rapids area versus perhaps a little bit more of a stagnant, swampy area. So depending on where we are, the deterioration rate may change, and perhaps some cords might have a little bit more luck in certain areas than others, and hopefully we'll be able to see how that works.
So what we got here is our first location for our deterioration test. As you can see here, the river by Lehman Park has a pretty fast current at this time of year. What we're going to be doing is placing one of our traps in here to test the wear on the cords over a period of time. And we'll come back periodically and see how they're doing, and hopefully we'll have some results to see how long these things last in some of these environments. Oh, hey there. Welcome to my backyard, a little place I like to call paradise. And I thought that this would be a perfect time to show you guys a little bit about how I've been making these cordages. While everybody's huddled by the fire and just hanging out, what are you doing passing the time? And that's making cordage. So I'm going to show you guys how we've been making it, and then you'll have a better idea of kind of how this process works. So you pinch it like this in both hands, right? And then you get a nice grip on it, and you see you have two of these strands here, one on the right, one on the left. You take the one closest to your left hand, and you take your middle finger, right, and you wrap it around like this, as you can see. It's wrapped around in that way. You bring it forward like this, and then you take it around. And you repeat the process until you've got yourself some cordage. And as you can see here, look at that guy. That is a taut strand right there, my friends. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. I appreciate you coming out for my video 2 out into my humble backyard to end this scrumptious video. Hopefully next time I'll have those results for everybody, and we can see just which one of these cordages is the strongest and how they react in different environments. Once again, thanks for coming out. Thanks for being here. This is James George and his cute little fluffy dog Piper signing off. Thanks for being here. Piper, say bye. Bye-bye.